Hello, everyone. Welcome to Legally Blind, and to the old subscribers, welcome back. It's been a while since I've posted a video. A lot of changes have been happening in my life, but I will leave those updates to another vlog type video. For this video, I have a really special conversation that I wanted to share with you. I had an interview with a student at the university where I teach. His name is Mahmoud. In this interview, Mahmoud shares with us a little bit of what his life was like as a blind middle-class kid growing up in a place like Cairo. And he also shares with us some of his views or his perspective on blindness itself and how he perceives blindness to be in his life. He's got some really interesting views. I have to say that I don't share some of them with him. So I would be very curious to hear from you guys what you guys think about some of those questions that I ask him and his responses to these questions. Would love to see some comments and discussions going on below. It's got me thinking, although I don't entirely agree with his perspective, it still got me thinking about accessibility in a new way. And you know what? I'm not going to say any more right now. I'll keep that for later. But for now, I just want to leave you with the interview. This is part one of the interview. I've broken it into two parts so that it's not too long in one go. And you can actually just listen to this as if it were a podcast. There aren't lots of visuals in there. There is one question in this part of the interview that Mahmoud answers in Arabic. And I have provided English subtitles, but there's no dubbing option on YouTube, so I was not able to provide an audio translation. However, it is just one question. The rest of the interview is in English, subtitled in Arabic. Please bear in mind that any views that Mahmoud expresses are his own, not the channel's. And obviously, I did not want to censor anything he was saying. I didn't want this channel to just be all about me. I wanted to present different perspectives. Mahmoud grew up in a very different environment than mine. Under different circumstances, a different condition that causes his blindness. He is completely blind at the moment, whereas I am merely visually impaired. So I hope to be able to present different perspectives on this channel every now and then, and I hope that you guys will find his perspective interesting. I should probably just clarify one thing for those of you who are not from Egypt or even close to Egypt. Which is that ثانوية عامة is a term that Mahmoud uses a couple times, and it is simply the name of the secondary school education system that we have in Egypt. So it's like SATs, basically, or IGCSEs or GCSEs. As always, thank you so much to all my patrons. Because of your support, I was able to get some new lighting equipment. Hopefully, I can now start lighting my face up properly. Still learning how to use these things, but thanks so much, and please enjoy the interview. Mahmoud, thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel and for agreeing to do this with me. I'm very happy that we were able to arrange it. If you could please introduce yourself. I always find it interesting to see how people choose to introduce themselves.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Maha. How are you? Welcome to our viewers and listeners as well. I'm also very glad that we are doing this with each other. First of all, my name is Mahmoud Ismail Helmy. Don't focus on names so much. Mahmoud in Arabic means someone that people thank. But I don't pay attention to names too much. One of the things that I think distinguishes me is blindness. I'm not shy to say that I'm a completely blind man. It's my identity. I'm not shy to say that I can see you. I can see anyone, I can see myself, I can see my wife in the future, I can see also my children.
Right.
I was the first for Arab Republic of Egypt in ثانوية عامة system last year with an unprecedented average, alhamdulillah, 99.4%, and I joined AC last year.
Right, is that the ranking for all of the students in Egypt, or is it a specific ranking for blind students?
No, blind students.
Ah, okay, I see.
Yes. Blind and visually impaired students.
Right, that's very impressive. Well done.
Thank you.
So you consider your blindness to be an important part of your identity, then?
Yes.
So what are you
There
studying?
are so many people that need others to ignore this part.
Right.
And I think this is not correct at all.
Yeah.
I'm blind, and the people should treat with me as a blind man.
Yeah. So then what are you studying at AUC at the moment, or what are you hoping to major in?
In fact, I haven't been declared so far, but my intended major is English and Comparative Literature.
Right.
And hopefully by the end of this semester, I will have been declared, inshallah.
Okay. You like to read a lot?
Yes, reading is the first habit for me.
That's great.
Which I followed up from my childhood until now.
That's great. It was the same for me. Reading was a huge part of my life when I was growing up. So could you please explain to the audience what your eye condition is and the history of how it developed from birth until now?
Okay, I can do so, but please let me express this in Arabic, as in fact I don't think that English can help me express something emotional more than Arabic.
Sure, please go ahead.
أنا خلقت أعمى البصر بشكل كلي، ولكن عندما بلغت من العمر حوالي 4 سنوات حدث لي شبه معجزة، ولم يكن أحد من الأطباء يتوقع أن أبصر يوما ما بعيني اليمنى بشكل طفيف جدا، ولم يكن يتسنى لي حينئذ الالتحاق بأي مدرسة متعلقة بالمبصرين كما هو الطبيعي. التحقت بمدرسة طه حسين للمكفوفين، وهي تقع في محافظة القاهرة تحديدا حلمية الزيتون، واستكملت دراستي فيها حتى الانتهاء من الثانوية العامة. أنا خلقت مشخصا بمرض يسمى جلوكوما. هذا المرض أصبت به عيني اليمنى واليسرى كلتا العينين، ولكن لم أشفى من هذا المرض مطلقا. كانت يعني بالنسبة لوقتنا الحاضر الموضوع له علاقة بالبصر أكثر من شفائي من المرض ذاته. في عمر 11 تقريبا بدأ هذا البصر الذي هو كما قلت ناجم عن شبه معجزة بدأ في الانحسار تارة أخرى. وحتى أبين للمشاهدين والمستمعين الكرام هذا البصر الذي كنت أبصره وإلى أي مدى كان هذا البصر موجودا عندي، هو كنت به أستطيع أن أرى أوجه الناس وليس إلا هذا. ففي سن 11 بدأ هذا البصر في الانحسار بشكل تدريجي جدا، حتى إذا وصلت إلى المرحلة الثانوية وتحديدا الصف الثاني من المرحلة الثانوية تدهور هذا البصر بشكل كلي حتى أصبحت أعمى بشكل كلي كما كنت من قبل. هناك عدة مراحل مررت بها حتى أصل إلى هذا، لكن نستطيع أن نقول إجمالا أنني أصبحت كفيفا بشكل كلي في يوم يعتبره كثير من الناس مباركا، لكنه بالنسبة لي كان يوما مشؤوما بالمعنى الحرفي. هو يوم 24 من مايو لعام 2020، وهو أول أيام عيد الفطر المبارك. للأسف أصبت بعمى كلي بشكل كامل. أما بالنسبة للصف الثاني والمرحلة الثانوية كان الموضوع كما قلت، أنا أجمل الموضوع، كان نوعا من الدرجات ومن التدريج في الوصول إلى مرورا بالضوء، انقراض الضوء وانحصاره إلى العمى الكلي والذي أصبت به في عيد الفطر المبارك.
See. Thank you for sharing this, Mahmoud. So
أعتذر لأنني أتحدث بالعربية، لكن هذا في الواقع يسبب لي ألم عندما أتحدث عنه، وأنا لا أفضل أن أتحدث باللغة الأم تعبيرا عن المشاعر أكثر منها أي لغة أخرى.
sure, that's totally understandable.
Yes.
So do the doctors still have no idea why your vision fluctuated a little bit? No one understands. No one knows.
هم يقولون أنني عندي شيء في العصب البصري، ولذا أنا أجريت كثيرا من العمليات منذ طفولتي، العمليات الجراحية، لكن هذا بلا جدوى. هذا كان يعالج فقط البصر، كانوا يجرون هذا حفاظا على البصر المتبقي الذي تحدثت عنه آنفا. لكن الحالة ذاتها لم تتحسن ولم أشفى من المرض، حتى أنني أصبت وقت أن كنت ذا 8 سنوات، أصبت بالAMD أو المياه البيضاء، وأجريت عملية وشفيت منها، لكن جلوكوما لم أشفى منها إلى الآن.
I see. Okay, so from your perspective, Mahmoud, how do you perceive blindness in your life?
I think that blindness is a very complicated challenge. Imagine that you don't have the ability to see. You don't have the ability to communicate with others in a visual way.
Yeah.
This can hinder you to make some visual things. But I think that blindness is not a disability.
Not a disability.
No.
Okay.
Disability, if we take a quick look at the definition of disability, we will see that disability means two things. First, to be disabled, you should be diagnosed with physical and mental disorders. In fact, I'm sorry to say that the human society equalizes between physical and mental disorders. For me, I think that there is a very big difference between physical and mental disorders. The human mind, in my opinion, is regarded as the king whose permission is so essential that our body functions well. I think that nobody can disagree with me in this point. So if we consider people who have problems with their eyes and people who are diagnosed with cognitive disorders, mental disorders, if we equalize between them, then what's the value of the human mind?
Right.
You see, the second part of this definition is to be disabled, you shouldn't do something major in life. For me, as a blind man, I think the most important thing for which I'm described as a disabled man is for example, I can't walk on my own. But let me ask, is walking considered to be one of the major things that people should do in life? Yes, let me hear your opinion. Do you think that there is something else important than walking?
Well, I think you have a very interesting perspective, and I feel this is where you and I think are a little bit different, because as a scientist, I tend to think about things a little bit less philosophically and a little bit more pragmatically, I guess, or practically. So as a biologist, let's say that one of the main evolutionary processes that happen in the lineage of our species is the expansion of the size of the brain and the complexity of the human brain.
Yes.
And a surprising amount of that expansion and complexity was actually due to the need for movement, because early in human history there was a lot of nomadic activity, You had to move around a lot with your tribe to gather and hunt and so on. And at that time, if someone was born without the ability to walk, whether it's because of blindness or because of any other reason, this child would most probably have not been able to survive at all unless they were very well taken care of by the rest of the tribe. So, I mean, it's also true that even if you were perfectly healthy, you still wouldn't be able to survive without your tribe. But the individual that is born without this ability to sort of fend for themselves is automatically less able than others. But it's it's like a pragmatic definition, or yeah, if you are unable to do something for whatever reason, then you are in a sense disabled to some extent. But I like your I like the way you see it. Did you have a response to that, or do you want to move on?
Yes, I have a response. Thinking is the most important thing that makes human beings distinguished.
Sure, I agree.
We are creative creatures.
Yeah.
We are not like anything on this earth.
Yeah.
So my opinion is
Yeah.
that thinking is the most important thing human beings must do in their lives. So
Sure. Yeah.
yes.
But if you get eaten by a tiger, you won't be able to think.
I can make tricks.
Right.
Survive.
But then you would have to at least know that the tiger is there, right?
People, there are so many things that make this depend on other things.
Right. Do you think that one of these things is the assistance of other people in your tribe who have to accommodate you and help you, basically? Or do you think that's not necessarily true?
There's no doubt that I need help as a blind man. But what I'm talking about is the definition of disability.
Right.
I'm not disabled. Why? Because people who are diagnosed with dementia or something cognitive,
yeah,
they shouldn't be equalized with me. You see, why? The value of eyes are not as equal as the value of the human mind.
Right.
People who can't express themselves are disabled in my opinion.
Okay.
I see that memory or attention or any cognitive ability is more important than anything else that human body organizes.
Okay, gotcha. So then tell us a little bit, Mahmoud, what was it like for you growing up as sort of a middle-class blind kid in a place like Cairo? Like, how was it at school or at home, or anything you want to share?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say that I belong to INFJ type. Those people usually have deep thinking and emotions. They are also private, so private, and they aim for perfectionism.
Yeah.
Those traits affect me from my childhood until now.
Yeah.
For example, in my life, I always have difficulties and challenges. When I'm exposed to them, it's impossible for me to share with others.
Right.
I tend to solve them. I tend to face them. So I'm a very serious challenger in my life.
Yeah. So you deal with them alone, is what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
When, as a private person, when I was in high school, in primary school, in preparatory school, in secondary school, high school, my school is the same. Taha Hussein. You see, I stayed in the dorms, something like the dorms. I stayed 5 days per week.
Yeah.
As I'm a private, and I tend to enjoy individual things more than teamwork.
Yeah.
I didn't make friends, so
Yeah.
many friends. Just I have just one or two friends from my childhood till now.
Yeah.
This makes my life very strange. This also affects me in my university. I'm also staying in the dorms of the ASC,
Yeah.
but this time I spent almost 3 weeks or month,
Mm.
and I returned to my home and I spend with my family almost 2 or 3 days per month.
Yeah.
All this make me so alone and make me lonely.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm pleased with that.
Oh, okay.
But I feel upset when I am exposed to difficulties or something like that, and I have no one to support me or something like that.
Right.
So you can conclude that there are few people that can meet my mental and emotional needs.
Does that bother you?
Yes,
Okay.
but I accept this
Okay.
as my personality is rare.
Okay.
So I can deal with that by motivating myself and doing some activities that alleviate this feeling.
Right.
But my teachers in school and my family always support me. I was exposed. I was definitely exposed to some people who disappointed me very much.
Right.
But in fact, I don't like to mention anything about them.
Yeah.
But in short, people who disappointed me, and some people also disappoint me in the present, but all of them have something common.
Yeah.
They don't believe in blind people at all. Yes. But people who know me very much, who know me deeply, are aware of my abilities and what I can do and what I can't, and something like that.
Right. That's interesting. I can
Yes.
relate to a lot of what you're saying because I am also INFJ, which is an interesting coincidence. Really, I didn't know that.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm also a very private person. I've always preferred individual work over teamwork. I've always had very, very, very few friends until I started making a lot more friends after I graduated university. I was a very serious kid.
Yes.
Yeah. And I spent all of my free time just doing my own thing, either reading or playing music or
Yes.
whatever, just by myself most of the time. And I liked it. I actually didn't mind it at all. The only thing I think that is different between you and me is that I think I do have a few people in my life to whom I am able to confide even really difficult things. And I also, if I'm alone for a long period of time, I usually don't feel lonely. Yeah, so I think I probably experience loneliness a bit less than you.
Okay.
I have a dog and he's enough.